Hello, what do Peter Kay, Phoenix Nights, Moana, Night Rider and Road Rage all have in common? They're all featuring in my new transporter mods. Both of these mods complement each other really well. Let's take a look. There are 10 buttons now in my cab. Let me show you what this big red one does, apart from light up red on the inside. Look at that, how cool is that? It turns on my new Night Rider light. It looks like KITT if you've got really bad eyesight, but it looks really, really cool. Now I've actually done this the really hard way. Instead of buying one of the cheap kits on eBay, which I didn't actually see when I went looking for one, I actually bought this from Etsy, from a shop called Hobby Kit Shop, and a guy in Bulgaria who's got really, really good reviews. So I thought I'd actually contact him and ask him a few more questions about the product which he had. Unfortunately, it wasn't waterproof, and it's not something which he can actually make waterproof himself. But looking at the design of it, I thought I could get that, and I could certainly give it a go and see what I can do. So I did. So it arrived and it was pretty much good to go. A case of just wiring it up to your positive and your negative, and off you went. But as I said, I needed it to be waterproof because I needed it to be on the outside of the vehicle. So I actually got some rubber sleeving just off Amazon. Put the LED lights into here and then siliconed up each of the edges to make sure that it was actually watertight. But the problem then is having that on the front of your van wasn't going to be so great. So plan A was to prime it and then paint it black. No, that was a really bad plan and didn't work very well. Primer peeled off that. Maybe I could have got some better paint, but it just looked pants. So on to plan B. Now plan B was to buy some of the rubber strip. So I bought a rubber strip, drilled some holes in it so the LEDs could shine through them, stuck that on, and then there you go, it was black. So from the outside, as it stuck to the exterior of the vehicle, it just looks black. But I'm not even happy with plan B. This is how plan B is at the moment, but I'm not happy with it and it's coming off. So plan C is to actually drill holes in the grille so it sits behind the grille, so you're not actually going to see this monstrosity, horrible thing as it looks at the moment, and then the LED lights will shine through. But not before I've bought a new black Glossville from Leighton's Vans. But the question is, do I go badgeless? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I think having the badgeless grille, because it just has the long strip, it would be much better for the lights to sit behind. So I think that would potentially be better, but do let me know what you think to badgeless. But that's just one of these buttons. The second, the third and the fourth are also for the Night Rider light, but I'll come on to those in a moment. But first, picture this. You're driving down the road and you stop to let a car past. You get your hand ready, poised, ready to wave, to acknowledge their thanks when they thank you. But they don't. What do? Yes, you're welcome, but they don't hear you. Well, I have the answer not only to this situation, but some others as well. So do stick around for those. This other big button here turns on another system. And then these buttons here all do different things. And if I press this one here, how cool is that? Pointless, I know, but still cool. But it gets better. There's actually speakers in the bonnet, underneath the grille of the bonnet. So the sound is actually external to the vehicle. At the moment, I'm actually only using the old front speakers, which I took out of my old door cards. So Dream Ice, if you are watching, some waterproof marine speakers would go down an absolute treat. Now, I've built this from various different parts on the internet. If you are interested in building this system yourself, not quite sure why you would, but if you are, I shall pop the links down in the description below. It's all relatively easy to do. The two main parts are the Adafruit soundboard and then also a small amp. And this powers the speakers which I've got in here. Now, this is all contained in this upper cab here, and the sounds are stored on board the little Adafruit chip, and they're operated by each of these 8 different buttons here. So each of these 8 buttons make a different sound. Wait for it, you wait for it. I opted for the 16 megabytes so I could actually have some longer tracks if I wanted to, but there is a 2 megabyte version available. And it's relatively easy to do. Soldering a few pins on there so you can clip on the actual connectors, and obviously each of these is connected to these buttons. It means that each of the buttons plays a song from the soundboard itself. The sound from here goes down a 3.5mm cable, which goes to the amp, which is just up here, and I've got a volume on here just to make sure that sometimes I can turn it down or turn it up, whatever situation which I'm in. So I wanted this in the upper cab. As you can see, I've got it here, so I needed to remove this panel. So I removed this panel, drilled a few holes in it, put the actual buttons inside, secured them in place, and then obviously all the wires come out and the board just sits behind on top of there. And then in the top here, I've got the amp, and obviously the cables feed through and come from there. The power cables fed obviously down to my fuse box, which I've got in here, and the speaker cable goes into the bonnet area there. Also accessible here, I've got a USB cable. So this USB cable here will connect to my laptop. So you actually use the computer to put the sound files onto the actual board. So I can actually just pull that cable down, connect it to my laptop, and then change any one of the 8 sounds which I want to. So let's give it a proper test and see what it does. Number 1 is the KITT scanning sound. Love it. That is perfect for what I need it for. Number 2.
I am the voice of Night Industry 2000's microprocessor, KITT for easy reference, a KITT if you prefer.
Brilliant. Number 3, I don't think I can play because it is actually the soundtrack, the original soundtrack. So I think I might get copyrighted for it, but that's what it plays. So I'm just gonna have to do my voice impression of it instead. Din 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 din. No, it's no good, is it? Yeah, just we need to play the proper one. If you see me at a meet, you will see me playing it. I've got one tomorrow and I can't wait to go because I know there's a few people there who are really looking forward to seeing this. So it will be played at the meet tomorrow. So number 4. You're welcome. You're welcome. Moana. See, the Moana reference. So far, we've had Moana, we've had Knight Rider. Where does Peter Kay come into it? Stick around. But first, number 5 and number 6. Now, this isn't something I've actually decided on what I'm going to do at the moment. I have a few different options, and as like I said, they're really easy to change. If I want to change them, I just plug it into the laptop and change them. But here are some of the options for 5 and 6. Let me know what you think I should have.
You can fit a bus through there. Come on, the lights are green. Have you got a license? Get off your phone!
What are you doing? Or the first of the Peter Kay references.
How dare you? How dare you?
What do you think? What do you reckon I should go for out of all those? Or are there any others you reckon I should get? Number 7, perfect for in the summer when you're traveling around the beaches. Ice cream van. Can sound like I'm an ice cream van. So number 8, I am a massive Peter Kay fan. Absolutely love Peter Kay and Phoenix Nights. Do you remember in Phoenix Nights when Max had his alarm system for his vehicle? Remember? Do you remember it? Look at this. How cool is that? Absolutely love it. I know they are completely pointless mods. I love them, but they're just a bit of fun. Some fun modifications, which I've really enjoyed actually making. If you're interested in seeing some more meaningful modifications and things you could potentially do for your van on the exterior and also the interior, do have a look at those videos here. I've enjoyed this. I hope you have too. Take care. I hope to see you soon.